What's up, guys, and welcome back to another NBA commentary and news episode. Today is June 18th, 2021, and the first thing we're going to be talking about is the blockbuster deal. Point guard Kemba Walker was traded from the Boston Celtics to the Oklahoma City Thunder this morning in return for Morgan Moses, Al Horford, and a 2023 second-round pick. Now, the Thunder, they're in rebuilding mode, and they're just dumping off Al Horford's bad contract, and he's one of the older players on their team. Morgan Moses to really solidify the deal, and then the 2023 second-round pick. And I like this trade for both sides. If Kemba Walker can return to his form that he played in 2019, then he should be paired well with Gilgeous-Alexander. And also, it's reported that the Celtics also traded a first-round pick to the Thunder. They traded Kemba Walker and a first-rounder. So I believe that if any teams won, if I had to choose a winner, I would say OKC won this trade. They got another first-rounder and Kemba Walker to maybe accelerate their team now and how they're playing now. They don't need to be some of the worst teams in the league because they already have so many first-round picks the next few years. And they dumped off a bad contract in Al Horford and Morgan Moses. It's sad to see him go, but they dumped him off as well. And now we're going to be talking about the game that you're watching on your screen, and that is Game 6 of the Milwaukee Bucks and Brooklyn Nets series. Brooklyn was up 3-2, but Milwaukee was able to get the 104-89 victory on home court to force a Game 7 in Brooklyn tomorrow on Saturday. Now, Giannis dropped 30 points, and Chris Middleton dropped even more. I believe he dropped around 33 points. And those are great performances by the two of them. Jrue Holiday had a solid game. And James Harden did play. He played better than Game 5, but he still wasn't as effective as he usually is, but he's getting back to his former self. Kevin Durant was guarded by Giannis today. And Giannis actually did a pretty good job defending him. He did not drop 50 points like he did the other night, basically. 49 will round up to 50. And I personally am rooting for the Bucks to win this series, except I just don't know if they can do it. I mean, the Nets, I feel like KD might be coming in clutch for the Nets, and James Harden as well, but especially KD in Game 7 on home court in the Barclays Center. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Except this has definitely been a better series now. If the Brooklyn Nets would have just scored more than 83 points their season low in Game 3, they would have the series wrapped up 4 games to 2. They wouldn't have needed this Game 6. They just would have won in Game 5. But fortunately for the Bucks, they were able to win Game 3 with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant before Kyrie Irving got injured in Game 4 by only scoring 86 points. That was very fortunate of them. But this is a great series, and this is by far my favorite series of the playoffs. It takes a close advantage over the Clippers and Dallas Mavericks series in the first round. And as you continue to watch the highlights on your screen, I'm going to be talking about the games that are on tonight, the first game being at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and that is between the Atlanta Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the Hawks are up 3-2, and they're on home court looking to close out the 76ers and Doc Rivers. Now, Joel Embiid is going to have a similar performance like he did last game, except he's going to have to play better in clutch time if it's not a blowout, which I don't think it will be a blowout. But if it is, the 76ers have to maintain that lead to get a Game 7 on home court because they are the number 1 seed, which would mean that a Game 7 would be played on their home court no matter what team they're playing in the Eastern Conference. And Atlanta, Trae Young's going to have to continue to play the way he's been playing. Lou Williams is going to have to continue to come off the bench and drop at least 15. And this should be a very good game. And the next game I'll be talking about is the game at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is between the Utah Jazz and the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, this is another interesting series. The Clippers are such an interesting team to me. They either underachieve or they overachieve. They never just play to their level. And by that I mean they are down 2-0 against the Mavericks, and they won in 7, and they are also down 2-0 against the Jazz. Now, take it, those first two losses for the Clippers, those games were both played in Utah. But it seems like if Kawhi's down 2-0, That's the most dangerous Kawhi Leonard you're going to get. I mean, he was down 2-0 in the 2019 Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks, and they swept the rest of the series in 1-6. And then he ended up winning the finals with the Toronto Raptors before joining the Clippers and requesting a trade for Paul George to join him as he arrived. Now, the Clippers have won 3 games in a row, but Kawhi Leonard, more than likely, I'd say there's a 95% chance that he's not playing this game, especially since it's not a Game 7, and even if it were a Game 7, I don't think he could come back until next series, assuming that the Clippers can close this out. But the narrative behind the Los Angeles Clippers is that they can't make it out of the second round. They could do that tonight on home court, just similar to the Atlanta Hawks. They're up 3-2 and have a game on home court. And Donovan Mitchell is not at full strength, except I just don't know if he'll allow the Clippers to take a Game 6 at home, but we'll have to see. If there is a Game 7 needed, it will be played in Utah. And overall, playoff P, Paul George is going to have another playoff P-like performance. He dropped 37 in the win the other night in Game 5 in Utah. They stole a game in Utah. That was a huge win. And they overperformed. Reggie Jackson played his role. Marcus Morris played his role. Zubac played his role. Everyone just played a very great game. And the Jazz had one of, if not the best, 3-point shooting quarter in the entirety of the NBA this year. And the Clippers were only down by 1 at the end of the quarter. So that speaks volumes about how well the Clippers played. And I'm starting to believe that Tyronn Lue is a good coach. Originally, I thought he was a product of LeBron James, but down 2-0 in both series in this playoffs, and he was down 3-1 against the Warriors in 2016 when he was coaching the Cavs, and he's found a way to come back in all of them. But the question is, if the Clippers win and they lose in the Western Conference Finals, I believe the meme will continue about them not being able to make it to the finals, but the primary standpoint from the meme is, the Clippers can't make it out of the second round. I mean, they're up 3-1 last year against the Nuggets in the bubble, and they lost in 7. So, if the Clippers can win this game, or even a Game 7, that speaks volumes about their team, and they'll go on to play the Phoenix Suns. The winner of the series will play Phoenix. And Phoenix is the higher rated seed, so if there is a Game 5 or Game 7, it would be played in Phoenix, no matter who wins this series. But yeah, it was a very interesting day in the NBA. You also have Zion Williamson's family reportedly. Some of his family members want him to leave New Orleans, which statistically is the smallest market in the NBA, so they might not be able to build a team around him. And it's rumored that they want him to go to a team like the New York Knicks. And I think that the family members do want him to leave, but I don't think Zion will. I don't think he has much of an option to do so, and I think he's happy playing in New Orleans. But anyways, back to the Clippers and Jazz series. Donovan Mitchell is still not at full strength, so the Clippers need to take advantage of that, because every single day of recovery, or every day that passes by, is a day where Donovan Mitchell is going to return to full form and drop 45 points a game like he has been doing, especially in the first 2 games of this series. But the Clippers are just such a fascinating team. I can't wait to watch them play. And thank you guys for watching this video. Please consider subscribing if you like this video. It would help the channel out a ton. And I can't wait to watch these games. See you later, guys. Peace.